everyone. Welcome to today's midweek moment. I am coming to you, Pastor Annette Jones, the senior pastor of South Suburban Missionary Baptist Church, to talk to you about the college edition, talking about college, all things college. I wish somebody had given me tidbits and information while I was still in high school and before I even went off to college. It was just as hard then as it is today to navigate the waters of high school and college life. And so today's midweek moment talking about college is supposedly meant to help those that are seeking college experience, those students that are transferring from high school and getting ready to go into the college life. And so I wanted to make sure that we talked about college things. And so we all know that education can unlock the doors to so many opportunities. Yet our young people are missing out on this choice to use the keys to unlock their future. So today's conversation can help our young people and those coming and planning rather to attend college to begin to make good choices and help instill pride in valuing education as one of their keys to so many more possibilities. So for today's midweek moment, I want to welcome to this platform and for your hearing and listening, Dr. Tamika Scott, who is the owner of Equity Minded Consulting. So welcome, Dr. Scott.
Thank you. Thank you so very much for this opportunity to talk about college.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. And I know you've went through from high school to college and have your doctorate degree. And so definitely you are welcome to this platform to share how to navigate from one part of a student's life into an adulthood and into college. And so let's just get right into our discussion on today. We know that students need to trust someone because they don't always know what classes to choose or what resources are available to help them. So who do you think they should seek in high school and in college?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. So as someone who has spent 20 years of my career working in higher education spaces, working with students coming into college, my answer has shifted, and it's probably shifted because I have a high schooler now, right? Oh, yeah. And so my whole perspective on life has changed, but definitely who should you trust? The first go-to, and if you're a high school student, and I actually want to pull back just a little bit. If you're a middle school student and you are hearing conversations about the importance of going to college, it's the perfect time to start talking to your teachers about what college looks like. More than likely, all of your teachers have went to college, and so they have their own college experience and story to talk about. So I would start first with the teachers. Find a teacher that you really connect with, that you think, things are going really, really well, and you can have just like a conversation and ask the question about, like, what was your college experience like? That will give you some insight to what college looks like, but then also like what type of programs that are out there, the pathway that you could take to go to college. And then, of course, high school students, connect with your school counselor. Your school counselor should be, keyword is should be, connecting you to the things that you need to do to prepare for college. Even if it's suggested that your grades or your ACT or SAT isn't college ready, let your high school counselor know that your plan is to go to college. If that is truly your plan, so don't allow them to like stray you from that. But if that's your plan, go to your college counselor and say, my plan is to go to college. And so what do I need to do to prepare for college? And then if you're a student who was like, I'm not really sure, start looking at colleges and talk to an admissions counselor. They're going to tell you everything you need to know about that particular institution. Find someone who's already working at the college, whether it be an academic advisor, someone who is teaching at the college. They'll be able to tell you more about that college and what's expected. So there's a lot of people that you can talk to. You just have to find who is willing to share their college story with you and pick their brain to the best of your ability.
Absolutely. I like what you said. Students should start in middle school. We shouldn't wait. And for parents who are listening and grandparents who are engaged in their children's and grandchildren's lives, start talking to them early about the college experience. Whether you've had that experience or not, it is good to start talking about it to help to put it in and plant it in their minds about college and wanting to go and having a desire to attend college. And so some great things you said: talk to a teacher, right? If you have a favorite teacher, start asking them about their college experience. Go and talk to a school counselor, or a college advisor, or somebody in the administration staff about what things are necessary for you to succeed as you go and navigate into this college experience. So great responses. We know that the cost of education has gotten so expensive. I mean, from when I was in school, and I'm not going to say my age, so it's been a long time. But from when I was in school to even now, the cost has probably been 100% more than what I paid, and so it's expensive. What can students and parents do in terms of helping them to fund their college expenses?
Yeah, so this is another tricky thing. And I think if you start having conversations very, very early on with your students about the desire to go to college, that's foundation, right? Because if you attend college, you're going to pay for it. And if you attend and you don't complete the degree, you're still paying for it. And so it's important to know that it is extremely expensive. More than likely, whatever you pay, if you consider interest rate, you're going to double that cost, regardless of when you go. So you have to be cognizant of that and know that it's a huge investment. And so you have to take that part serious. If college is what you want to do, not because mom is saying, grandma, aunt, uncle, community, it's something you have to be 100% committed to, because you're going to pay for it in some capacity. And so it's important that if that's I'm absolutely going to college, this is what I'm doing. Scholarship, scholarship, scholarship. I can't say it enough. Scholarship, scholarship, scholarships. Find scholarships. There's a ton of them out there. And it requires you to do a lot of work to find those scholarships, but you have to be very intentional about finding scholarships. You also have to consider other costs. So not all scholarships are going to work, right? You may not be one who can find a scholarship, or you don't meet the requirements for that particular scholarship. So finding additional cost-saving ways to attend a college, not really attend the college, to complete a degree, right? It's a transaction that you're going to make. You're going to pay for a degree. In order for you to pay for that degree, how are you going to effectively do it? You have to have a plan in place, which is why it's important to start very early on. You have to have strategies tied to it. And so if your dream is to go to a 4-year college, be realistic, right? The cost of a 4-year degree costs this much money. Can you get an associate's degree, transfer to your 4-year program, and consider that cost? Is that more cost effective and efficient? That's a strategy that you have to work out. You also have to consider, do I need to go straight into a 4-year institution? Do I need to go straight into a school period? Or should I find a job that can then pay for me to go to college? Another aspect to take. You also have to consider dual enrollment. So dual enrollment really is, a lot of people talk about AP classes, which are great and wonderful, but we have to be realistic around the AP class and the fact that you have to take an exam in order for that AP class to actually then transfer into college. So consider the dual enrollment option, where you're actually taking a college course and that will transfer in. Also consider military, right? So military pays for college. Maybe you have to go to the military first and then you go into your college. Also, for those of our parents and our people who are out there that are working in the field, consider getting a job in higher education. One of the benefits of working in higher ed is a lot of the benefits that come with that is that your student, your child, can then go to a school that your institution will pay for. Part of the reason why I stay in higher ed, right? I got 2 kids trying to pay for college. And so you have to have a plan in place if that's the plan to go to college. And then in addition to that plan, be strategic about how you're going to make sure that it's cost effective. The end goal is to walk out debt free, but with a degree.
Absolutely. That's the end goal, but it don't always happen like that, right? Not for everybody. And so in addition to all the things that you've already shared, there are loans that can be provided, governmental loans that can be provided to help subsidize the education. And so if you have to go that route, don't be afraid,
Mhm.
because they do have payment plans once you finish your degree to pay it off, so that you can pay towards it. So don't be afraid if you have to do it that way, but consider all of your possibilities. And now that's kind of hard to navigate for a high schooler. That's really hard, and that's where parents
Mhm.
and grandparents and those that are part of that child's community or the village can help to start to talk about what do we need to do in order to help. In fact, one of the things that I did early on, when my daughter was in her young years, her
Mhm.
grammar school years, was start a college fund
Mhm.
so that could help to pay in case she didn't get enough scholarships. I had funding to help pay, and I don't think we do enough of that in the African American community
Mhm.
primarily. We don't do enough of that, of setting aside funds, starting early to set them aside with the thought that one day our children may want to go to college,
Mhm.
or we want to be ready in case they do. But if we're not there, so many other ways in order for it to make it happen. So
Absolutely.
what do they need to do? You talked a little bit about in high school and in grammar school starting some things. So what do you think some high schoolers need to do? Let's say they're going into starting into their freshman year.
Mhm.
What are some things that they need to do throughout their high school years in order to prepare for college?
Get involved. Like that is something that we are requiring
Yeah,
our freshmen to do, right? I need her to be involved so she can find out what her interests are.
yeah,
That's the intent. It's not for you to socialize. I mean, of course you will, right?
yeah.
But it's to find out what you strongly believe that you're really good at, because that's then what you should major in when you go to college. And that's what you then build your career off of, things that you are passionate about. And so these are the opportune times to find what do you really enjoy? What do you like to do? What is like, yeah, no, I'm not interested in that, so that you can be strategic about what you're going to do when you get into college. And so it's really about getting involved. It's also about shadowing, right? So when I talk about finding that teacher for them to share their college story, if you enjoy working with kids, then ask the question of, well, can I like shadow you one day, or can you walk me through like the typical day of being a teacher? Or
Yeah.
maybe you're like really into athletics and you find yourself being a part of the athletic team. Well, then ask your coach, what does it look like to be a coach?
Mhm.
Or find somebody in the community you enjoy working or you enjoy the aspects of the bank, right? So what does it look like to go into maybe finance or business? Ask the question of posing, like, can I shadow you? Go to the bank and be like, hey, I'm really interested. This is what I think I want to major in college. Can I shadow you just to see what it's like? I guarantee you're going to find a ton of people who'll be like, oh, yeah, absolutely. You can come and shadow and see what it's like.
I like that. I like that idea of shadowing, and we do that. I think that's where they came up with the concept of bring your children to work,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that your children can come and see you operating in a professional environment or in whatever your job discipline is. To see you in operation,
Yeah.
hopefully to inspire. I look at a lot of TV shows that's dealing with like firefighters and
Mm-hmm.
policemen, and they have like junior rookie, not rookie, but junior cops, and junior firefighters who
Mm-hmm.
shadow them or go around and hang out at the fire station, and then those children end up saying, "I want to be a firefighter,"
Mm-hmm.
or "I want to be a policeman when I grow up," or a police person when I grow up. And so shadowing, I think that's something that I hadn't thought of, and I think that's a great experience for a young person. And in addition to that, we want them to have good grades, right?
Mm-hmm.
From the beginning, starting in your freshman year. Don't wait until your junior or your senior year in order to start trying to pull your grades up. Start right away. Do your homework. Do
Mm-hmm.
what's required. I like the fact that you talked about taking AP classes, and those are advanced placement courses that you can take in high school. You have to take an exam at
Mm-hmm.
the end, but those can go toward college credits.
Mm-hmm.
And so even before you go into college, you can already have some credits that are being applied. So definitely great opportunities. And thank you for sharing in that area. So we know that not only is that, just trying to navigate from high school into college and how that whole world looks like, and it's real muddy sometimes, and students don't always know
Mhm.
what college to choose,
Mhm.
right? It's so many colleges. How do I choose the best college for me? So what can you share about choosing a college?
I would say take advantage of every either community resource, I mean, all of them. Take advantage of those spaces that are doing campus tours and get like literally at the campus, get a feel for the campus. Do you see yourself as you're walking through the campus? Is there a program that you're interested in? Again, to connect with someone within that program to ask more about what are the class requirements? What does it look like to take this class? How much is this program going to cost, and how long will it take me to graduate? What else do I need to prepare? Get a feel for that campus. But then also, again, you have to consider finances, right? A lot of us want to go to these amazing institutions, and some of us, that's exactly where we're going to go. And some of us, it's not. And it's okay. At the end of the day, when it's time to apply to a job, they're going to ask you for the degree, right? And naturally, you put the university or the institution down, but they want the degree. And so it's important that we encourage our students to just have fun, go and explore. This is the perfect time to be like Dora the Explorer, explore all of the colleges that you want to.
Yeah.
Get a feel for those colleges, and it's a yes or it's a no. If you don't see yourself there, don't waste your time there.
Oh, wonderful. I think so many colleges, due to COVID-19 and the pandemic, so many colleges started doing virtual tours.
Mm-hmm.
And because that's something they started, a lot of them still have
Mm-hmm.
all of that information up for you to take a look at. And so parents and students, just start perusing,
Mm-hmm.
go online and seeing what does it look like to be in that school? What does that school look like? Finding even how many students are in a particular classroom. So knowing whether or not you're able to be in large settings, or you need something a little bit more private. So it's private schools, it's state schools, it's all kinds of different schools that you can attend. HBCUs, which is the historically Black college and universities. There are so many colleges to choose from, but one way to do it, as Tamika said, is explore.
Mm-hmm.
Explore. I like that. Be Dora the Explorer and go out there and start to explore. Go
Mm-hmm.
on tours. Have your parents set up tours to colleges that you've heard about. Talk to some people in your family even,
Mm-hmm.
and find out where did they go, and visit those schools as well. So wonderful. Look, there are so many schools, but then there are so many different career
Mm-hmm.
or college degrees that you can get. So how does a student decide which degree? You talked a little bit about that earlier, but what other things can they do in order to pick the right degree?
Some of the basic things that you should be able to do in your high school. Let me be very frank. You should be able to take an assessment that tells you what your interest is, right? If you're not able to take it in high school, again, that would require you connecting with your high school counselor. Do it online. Google interest inventory or interest assessment, and you should be able to take something free online to find out what you're interested in. From that interest list, then go compare it to programs. Typically, when you find an inventory, it tells you this is what you're interested in. Here are some particular fields of interest, right? Programs, and they also give you the actual like job title. Then just go start looking that up, right? So if I'm interested in, so one of mine I know is helping field, right? So you go into the helping field, you'll see a ton of different job classifications. You'll see a social worker, you'll see a psychologist, a counselor, I think it's a whole bunch of them, right? So I know psychology. Okay, that's wonderful. That's great. So then I go and I look, okay, so what type of job can I get being a psychologist with an associate's degree? Because there is some programs that have associates in psychology. Oh, okay, they make like 30,000. I need to make more than that. So let me see for a bachelor's degree. Again, when I say Dora the Explorer, you are going all the way to the end of the map, right?
Yeah.
You want to find out what you're interested in. The next thing is what program. The next thing is in what college. And the next thing is how you're going to fund that college. And then the next thing after that is once you complete that degree, how are you going to financially reap the benefits of having that degree?
Absolutely. And definitely, like you said, exploring, finding out what your interests are, doing that assessment. I like the fact that a lot of high schools do have a career counseling center, kind of, to help you, or school center to help you to navigate and understand what your interests might be. And talking to your counselor
Mhm.
definitely is going to help you in that field. I know when I was in high school, my interest was math. I was really, really good at math. And it was a teacher who told me that I should be a mathematician. And I said, that was the first thing I said was, what kind of degree is that? And what kind of job am I going to get as a
Mhm.
mathematician? And so in his mind, I think he thought I could be a teacher. I didn't want to do that. I don't want to teach math. And so I picked something that was close to it, at least I thought it was, and that was accounting. And went down the path of accounting, loved it, was so really appreciative of those that helped guide me during that
Mhm.
time. And even though it was a hard major that I chose, it really landed me in a good spot later on. So I'm glad I didn't go the route that the other teacher wanted me to go, being a mathematician, but I landed somewhere near close
Mhm.
because I still work with a lot of numbers.
Yeah.
So it is about picking a major, and if you find that the one that you pick doesn't fit, you may have an opportunity to change
Mhm.
majors and pick something else, right?
Yeah. Like you said, it requires you exploring. So the hope is that you don't stop with one teacher. The hope is
Right,
that you don't stop with one shadowing. The
right.
hope is that you actually open that box of math and you see all the things that you can do within
Right.
math, to get to accounting, to get to finance, or whatever the case may be. Just
Yeah,
don't stop with, okay, math is the route. And then you go get a math degree and you figure out math is not actually what you want to do.
yeah, yeah. And what kind of money am I gonna make?
Mhm. That's it. At the end of the
That's
day,
the
that's the
key.
last question.
So we definitely, we brought on this subject about college because we have students in our church that are getting ready for their transition from high school into college. We have some that are transitioning from middle school into high school,
Mhm.
and so I wanted to ensure that they understood that not only is there help out here, but that we need to start having those candid conversations. And I'm hoping that all those that are listening and parents, et cetera, are taking in this
Mhm.
information because it is truly helpful during this time. And we don't want our parents to be stressed, right? They're going to be stressed, but we want them to have some tools,
Mhm.
right? This is almost like a toolkit, right?
Mhm.
In this college edition that they can take and use and begin to apply. So, Tamika, it's really been great having you on. Do you have any final comments or last words that you want to share?
If you are a first generation student, meaning you will be the first one to go to college in your family, one, know that you're not alone. Two, know that there's a ton of programs that are out there just for first gen college students. The end goal is to get our first gen low income students to complete their degree. Bachelor's, we even have programs that are designed for all the way to your PhD. So if you are literally the first one in your immediate family to go to school, it may look like you out there by yourself, but know that you are not. And there's a community of people. There is federal funding that is out there designed just to make sure that you succeed in college. And so know that you may not see yourself, but know that someone else has lived that experience and walking and ready to support you in that aspect.
Oh, I like that. I like that because I was a first gen. So
Yeah.
I understand that. And it may seem like you don't have any help,
Mhm.
but there is help. And you can start with your parents. And if not them, you can start with with the teachers at your school and the counselors that are at your school,
Mhm.
advisors. And if not, reach out to your church
Mhm.
because sometimes your pastor and others in the church will become your community to help you navigate through this space and through this time of transition in your lives. And so it's been wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Tamika, for coming on and sharing about college and all things college. For those who are listening, we thank you for joining us on today for this midweek moment. If you want to continue to support South Suburban, you can do so by contributing to our PayPal at paypal.me/SSMBC. We hope to continue to bring you some great information about college life. And so stay tuned for the next midweek moment. Thank you so much, Dr. Tamika,
Of
again.
course. Thank you.
All right. God bless you. And we pray Godspeed, especially as you're helping your high schooler navigate these waters.
Thank you.